Chris and Paul present This Is the Topic. It's the adventures of two lifelong friends as they explore a new topic each episode. Join the guys for music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. I'm your announcer, Michael Foster. Now, here's Chris and Paul with This Is the Topic.
Thank you, Foster. 28.
Hey.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Paul, what's happening, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a minute. I've been missing the topic.
Yeah, this is the topic.
It is. I know, and it's weird that I'm talking about how it's been a long time since we've done this because in the world of podcasting, it's all instantaneous.
Right.
People have no idea it's been a while.
There's probably several people who probably have binged the episodes.
At least 27 of them.
Right, and they're right now they're just up to number 28.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys just didn't do them in a row?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We had life happens. You know? Yeah.
Life happens. I like that. That's more G-rated and family-friendly than what we,
than what we would say off the air.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, life happens. But here we are in the middle of life, making a podcast, just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So just some podcast business.
Okay. Yeah.
We're getting through some topics.
We are. Yeah, we had.
We're gonna need some new topics, aren't we?
We've needed new topics since we started this podcast. They've not been, spectacular, all of them, but some have been really insightful. They've drawn out some really good conversation, and I hope whatever I draw out of the bag this time does as well.
I think some of them are dated.
A little bit, yeah.
Isn't it interesting how quickly things can date?
Yeah, it's weird. You go to Netscape, you look for a list of topics, and boom.
And you just go into Alta Vista and you put in, a search.
Yes, yeah. And then you get a bunch of topics that are like 20 years old.
Right.
So weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, we're ready for a topic?
Yep, I got
okay.
my hand in my sack.
Oh, wow.
Hang on. Okay. Oh God, why is it so hard to draw one out? Okay, I've got one.
The topic is
where are they living?
Where are they living? The topic is where are they living?
Okay, we've had a lot of bad ones.
Yes, we have.
This may be the worst. But let's see what happens. You know what?
This is going to be great.
I'm prejudging.
Yes.
And that makes an ass out of you and me.
That's what Mr. Hand says.
What? Okay, so what part of a city do you live in?
Oh, what part of a city?
That's the first question.
Okay, well, this adapted a little bit.
Okay.
So I live in Independence,
Missouri. Harry Truman's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Queen City of the Trails.
I've lived here my whole life.
Okay.
And when I travel, and I used to travel more, when people say, hey, where are you from? I say, I'm from Independence, Missouri.
You do.
Now, you and I differ on this.
We do. Yeah. Although I was mayor pro tem of this town for 4 years, I don't appear to have the same civic pride that you do. Because
I'm sure you have more civic pride. This is something different, I think. I don't know what.
When I travel, even today, I'm in a newish job where I'm traveling quite a bit, and people will say, where are you from? And I say, Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
So I pick the bigger metro area to affiliate with instead of my actual hometown. I'm not proud of that.
Well, what's weird about our hometown, folks, is that Independence is an older city than Kansas City. They're just a little bit older, not a lot.
Yeah.
And it grew, Kansas City grew, and then the suburbs grew around it. But Independence grew when the suburbs grew. The truth of the matter is, I live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
I would like to think I live in a town that's older than Kansas City, but this area was not Independence when Independence started. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. Like, we're pretty far south in Independence. Mm-hmm. My grandparents live a couple of miles north, lived a couple of miles north. When they built their house, it was not in the city limits. They were south of the city limits.
Yeah, it was South Street, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was like, man, that is way down there.
Yeah. So Independence has grown. Our hometown has grown by annexing other cities and other areas.
County areas, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not like we're in the historical independent, you or I.
Yeah. So to answer the first question, I live in the suburbs of Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where, and that's probably, even though I don't do it when I travel, I probably should just say I live in the suburb of Kansas City.
Yeah. And I'll probably still say, I live in Kansas City. But also it's because if I say Independence, like, well, Independence,
Exactly.
what's that?
I'm with you.
Well, it's the Queen City of the Trails. It's Harry Truman's hometown. But where is it? Well, it's a suburb
Sir,
of
here's
Kansas
your
City.
coffee.
Yes.
Move on.
Jesus Christ, dude. Here's your coffee. Just go sit down. Yes.
But was that what I was trying to get at? Like what
I think
area
so.
like in the suburbs?
Yeah. What part of Independence do you live in?
I live in the suburb area of Kansas City.
You do.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
You do. But you live in an iconic suburb you live in an iconic neighborhood in a suburb of Kansas City.
Well, you know what's interesting? Okay, so my neighborhood, Thomashaw Village,
Yes.
was a very, very nice, exclusive.
It certainly
It was like
was.
the hoity-toity area about 50 years ago.
It was.
And
Yeah.
before that, there was a place called Golden Acres that was the hoity-toity place in
Yeah.
Independence. Now, who lives there?
Actually, I do.
Yes.
I live there with my wife and children and stepchildren.
And now it's just a shithole.
I don't know that it's a shithole.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
But you're right. We actually live in two of probably the most iconic neighborhoods
yes,
in
that
Independence.
used to be all that and a bag of Fritos.
Oh God, Fritos.
Right, but now
They're so heavy.
But now it's just a regular suburb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we just calm down a
Just
little
regular
bit?
suburb, no
Yeah.
big woo. Do you like your neighborhood?
I do. I like the house I live in. I
Yeah,
like the
you got a great house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Lots of space. It's not. It's welcoming. It's comforting.
And the boring thing about me is that I live on the exact same street that I grew up in. Mm-hmm. Grew up on. Do you grow up in a street or on a street?
On a street,
Okay,
I think.
I grew up on
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
And I just have family that lives right across the street. Parents and then brother lives right next to them.
Yeah,
so
you guys have like hung tight to this. Can I say Avon?
I'd rather you.
I'm sorry.
Have that removed.
Yeah,
Can
let's
we have that?
edit that out if we can.
Can we get that removed? Yeah, I'm right on it. Okay, thanks.
Oh, good. Well, that'll be gone.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. I like the neighborhood I live in. A couple of interesting things about my neighborhood. No sidewalks.
Yeah, no sidewalks here either.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No streetlights in my neighborhood.
Wow.
I don't know if there are any other neighborhoods in Independence that don't have streetlights. But I will tell you, by and large, the people in my neighborhood are adamantly against the streetlights. So our crime is higher. I think there's a point of pride.
we don't do that
a little bit. We don't. And there's a almost a campground feel to my neighborhood. You drive around and it's people's gas lights in their front yards and
I've been through a neighborhood. There's no lights. You kind of feel like this is how living used to be.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you go, look at the slave quarters over there. That's great.
I don't think we do that.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think we. Yeah,
You
Yeah.
just want the grand old days. And
Just-
everyone's wearing the red hat. Trying to make everything great again.
MAGA baby. Yes, make Golden Acres great again. Why did you move to your neighborhood?
Wow. Now I moved to my neighborhood from the other neighborhood I lived in because I got a good deal on a house and it was near the school where I wanted my children to attend.
Oh, yeah, that all makes sense. Yeah. Mine was a little bit of a different story.
Okay, here we go.
I had
Always trying to be different.
a lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
But we weren't married. Obviously, she was my girlfriend. We weren't living together. My house that my kids grew up in sold.
Okay.
We had it for sale For several years, it didn't sell. We took it off the market for several years and then put it back on. All of a sudden, it sold. So I had to find a place to live. I didn't know what to do. I actually found a duplex in your neighborhood in Tomashaw Village.
Yeah.
And it was a done deal. I was moving in on a Monday, and I was up at the Relay for Life at Truman High School on a Friday night, and I get an email saying, hey, we decided to go with somebody else to
Someone
rent this
better,
to.
probably?
Somebody that didn't have kids.
Oh,
I think
no
that's what it
way.
boiled down to. Yeah, it was a single woman with no kids.
Wow.
And I had kids that were,
Stupid.
junior high. Well, yes, that too. Okay. Junior high and high school age. Actually, very smart kids. But
yeah, I know.
So then I was like, I don't know what to do. So my girlfriend at the time said, you got to move someplace in like a week. Move in with me. Mm-hmm. She had a house in Golden Acres. Mm-hmm. So, like, okay, that makes sense. We'll do that. We'll try it out. And you know what? It was a hit.
Yeah.
It worked out well.
What happened?
Well, it worked out so well. Not only did we move in temporarily, we made it permanent, and I got married to that girlfriend, and she's now my wife. Oh, my God, yes, that's her.
I was going to do it when you're talking about your girlfriend.
Yeah, but she's my wife now.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
And everything has just been, Brady Bunch happiness since then, right?
Yeah, we're going to say that. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's actually been very good. Of course, when you blend families, it's not, just all super smooth, but it's been really great. And I do really like our neighbor. It's a beautiful neighborhood this time of year in the fall. We've got a lot of old trees, and it's gorgeous for a couple of weeks, and then all those goddamn leaves fall.
Yeah,
and then it's a pain in the ass to clean all that shit up.
I hate it so much.
Yeah. So what's the best thing about living in this part of town for you?
Now, my neighborhood is very close to the main drag of town.
Yeah.
And which is very close to the highway.
Right.
I don't know if I mentioned, but I do live in the suburb area of Kansas City. And so you can get downtown very quickly.
Yeah.
You can get around this town pretty quick. And I like the fact that the neighborhood is quaint, it's nice, it's cozy, but it's close enough to get any place else you want to go.
You know what? I was going to say the exact same thing, so you kind of stole my thunder.
I sure did.
But I love, I do spend a lot of time in Kansas City, and I love how close I am to Kansas City. But then also, we're a mile away from my daughter's high school, and just the location is really nice.
Yeah.
That's all I got, dude. That's all the question. That's it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
yeah. We did the best we could with
what we had.
A subpar topic, which doing the best we can with what we've got is kind of the story of our lives, I think.
Don't you think it's that was particularly boring because we both live in the same place that we
grew up in? Yeah.
and you know what? Maybe that's a dated thing because you can do a podcast from anywhere now.
From anywhere, yeah. But we're so geographically locked. Geographically locked? It's crazy.
I don't have to go to the coast to do a podcast.
No, you do it right here
You're
in your
listening
basement.
to it, yeah.
In Tomashaw Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
KCTK Radio Studios is right here in Independence, Missouri, a suburb of Kansas City.
This is The Topic has been a KCTK production, produced by Chris Whiting and Paul Lavoda. All rights reserved. For more information and content, email us at kctkradio@gmail.com. I'm your announcer, Michael Foster.